January 18th, 2024. Of course, we're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. No excuses. We're just giving out free picks. Yeah, we were just talking about the Hawks off the air and Banchero hitting that three. Yeah, counts the same as if the Magic won by 70. I had against the spread, and of course, just another home loss for the Atlanta Hawks, which is why they live on the do not bet list. Number 3, in between the Commanders and Shedeur Sanders for Heisman. Hashtag we coming.
What's funny to me is that it just sits on his desk, and it just.
Well, we'll have, there'll be times where we'll have to put a line through somebody, and then we'll add somebody to the list. There's room at the bottom. We could tape another sheet to it, and have like the.
It's there for necessity because we never know if we have to add or subtract from it.
The beauty of the do not bet list is its flexibility.
It's constantly evolving.
Yeah, I should sell this on Amazon.
It came used. Authenticity guarantee.
Yep. People will be like, "Can you sign it for me?" That's like on the hats and shirts. It's like, no, I'm not signing it for you.
No, he signed it, and then it'd be like, "What did you want inscripted on it?" Take the chat.
Take the chat. Just.
The chat.
Oh man.
Yes, sir. I was 3-3 yesterday, but I hit both my top plays, Raptors and Oklahoma. I had a few get away. I had Creighton money line. I tried to take a shot there. Didn't really pan out. UConn kind of just beat up on their ass. And in the NBA, who burned me in the NBA? The Rockets. I caught that. I tried to catch that falling knife. And there was one more. I forgot what it was, but it was a solid day.
Mavericks got you.
Mavs. That's
those guys. Oh, those guys.
No.
Yeah, them boys. I had Boston too. That's what else I had Boston. But yeah, the Mavs. I tried to take a shot on their money line. They'll be back.
Happens. Well, we got a good card today, games, that's for sure. So certainly some chances to make it up. I think there's some easy ones out there too, which is always good.
Nice little layup.
Hope so.
Yeah, there were a couple I thought were layups yesterday, and I clanked it off the rim. But the worst, I think the worst feeling. No, the worst feeling is when you have a game where you're laying 8, you're up by 11 with like 3 seconds left, but your app doesn't update. So I went in thinking that I won by 11, and I checked later in the night, and I saw that I only won, that I had the push, and I was like, mother. Colgate over Army. Yeah, the Raptors got me yesterday, and God, who else did I have that got me? Didn't show up in college. It's going to bug me now until I think of it.
Arizona? Northwestern?
No.
Ole Miss?
No, UNC Greensboro. I had him against the Citadel.
Sean Morrow. Yesterday was horrible. You could say that any day.
That Heat game was.
Bad Heat.
Did you see the first half of that game? They could not hit water if they fell out of a boat.
That Heat.
That's why I watch Married at First Sight, Chris. That's why I watch, on Wednesdays.
Below Deck. Okay, yeah, Below Deck. I got you. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I got my reality programs, and I had the college hoops on a lot of the main screens. That Nebraska the Nebraska game was pretty good against Rutgers.
Yeah.
That was a nice game.
Do you have your Final Four still off the top of your head right now, or is it still
For college hoops?
Yeah. Has it changed at all?
I like UConn, Miami, FAU, and San Diego State.
I gotta have Auburn in there, I think.
Well, it's the same Final Four there was last year.
Yeah.
Mine were the exact same teams that were there last year.
You know what? Now that you said after you said, I immediately clued in. I was like, wait a sec, that sounds really familiar.
That was the Final Four last year.
Yeah, I think after yesterday, I think I got to have Auburn in there. Auburn's so good.
Did you see Steve Alford coach us right into the cash yesterday with San Diego State? It was beautiful. It was like backing the truck up into your favorite parking space and just having them throw money into the back
Steve
of it.
Alford.
Yeah, it was like, why? It was like, what's he doing coaching a team this good? It's like it's not fair to the players. It's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to anyone except the people betting on the other team. It's like, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
Oh, jeez.
I'm mad.
Yeah, that's my early one for sure is Auburn to make the Final Four. This team's really good. I gotta kind of look at it, see the other three, but
they'll put like Auburn, Colorado. The Colorado will be like the 9 seed in that bracket, and Auburn will be like the 3 or 4. And they'll put like, Virginia in there and like all the middle teams, right? And it'll be like Duke. No, Duke won't be in that one. It'll be like Kentucky and, teams like that. And then Duke will be in with like James Madison and, the Horizon League champion,
Auburn will be like the 3 or the 4 seed in the same bracket as the 2 seed that didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh gosh, I'm trying to think of what one that was recent that didn't make sense, but like if Illinois got like a 2 seed,
I'll tell you who's looking at a 2 or 3 is Wisconsin.
Yeah, it's crazy. As much as we like to bash Wisconsin basketball year after year, they're playing really well.
They're going to be a tough out.
Does Nebraska crack the at-large?
The way they're playing, maybe. I think the Big Ten, there'll be a shakeout, There'll be some disappointment. It really depends on some of these other conferences. Like how many Mountain West teams do you let in then? New Mexico, Nevada, San Diego State, Utah State.
Someone was saying that they could see New Mexico being like the FAU of this year.
You know what that person is? Stupid.
Stupid. Higher stupid.
Yes.
I mean, they looked pretty good against Utah State, but that was at home. They played really well at the Pit.
I would say Richard Pitino going to the Final Four as a coach. As a head coach, I'm not buying it. I think, how about UCF down by 12 at the half? Man, oh, God. The same day they announced Mike McCarthy's going to be back, I think maybe Texas got a whiff of that in the locker room, and maybe that's why they didn't come out for the second half.
It might have been.
It was 44-32 at the half, and then the second half, 45-27. For UCF.
That's crazy. Right now, CBS has Auburn as a 6 seed.
Yeah, exactly, man. They know nothing.
North Carolina is a 2 seed.
I believe that. They've played a tough schedule and they've played well.
Yeah, so the 4 number ones are UConn, Purdue, Kansas, Houston. The 2 seeds are Wisconsin, Tennessee, North Carolina, Arizona. The 3 seeds, this is where it gets a little bit hairy. 3 seeds, Duke, Baylor, which I agree. Illinois, Memphis.
Illinois
is a 3 seed. Memphis is a 3 seed.
It's a reach.
And the 4 seeds are TCU, Clemson, Kentucky, and Marquette.
4 is TCU, Clemson. No.
Kentucky.
Yes.
I would maybe move them up to a 3 ahead of Memphis.
Yeah.
Really.
I would move all those teams up above Memphis.
Marquette I would move up.
Except for Clemson.
And I don't know if I could get them.
Clemson's like a 5-6.
And then the 5s are Ole Miss, Dayton, Oklahoma, and Alabama.
Alabama? They haven't been so good this year either. Dayton is good. Who's the other one? Ole Miss? Chris Beard?
Yeah.
Texas's old coach? Winning?
Yeah. FAU is an 8.
I don't see Jay like jumping on the Longhorns bandwagon here for hoops.
BYU, for how well they started the year, even though I guess it was a soft schedule. But BYU, 10 seed.
I love them. Love them. Take all the dogs in the first round. I'll be all over them. They'll be favored as a 10 seed.
Yeah, the 12s right now are Providence, Grand Canyon, McNeese, and St. Mary's.
There
St.
you go,
Mary's
Jay.
is 12.
Watch out for them Hopes, bro. Watch out.
Hey, 12 over 5, man. It happens every year,
This
right?
could be
Watch out.
this could be the year where all the 12 seeds get out over the 5s. If these were the matchups that would hold.
Who would Grand Canyon be playing? If March Madness was in January.
Of course, theoretically, if it was.
Who are the 5s? We definitely went through it.
Grand Canyon would play Iowa State.
Oh, they're my boys too, though. I'm lucky rocking with Iowa State. Oh, that's a game right there. I ain't gonna lie to you.
That would be a good game.
Neutral site. Oh shit. What will be the line there?
I don't know. I can't see
Iowa
it.
State minus 4.5.
The scariest 12 or 13 seed is Samford.
Bulldogs?
Yeah. They can score 80, 90 points in a game. They'll run over whoever they play. Right now, if they had Samford in, they'd be up against Clemson.
So who's like at the bottom? Who are the bottom like 15 and 16s?
15s, they've got Troy, Denver, St. Peter's, and NC Central.
All right, so these are lower conference winners.
These are like the MEAC and the.
So who are the last 4 in then?
Last 4 in they have as Ohio State, Kansas State, Texas Tech, and Providence.
I have no argument with any of those.
Some damage. Yeah,
First 4 out, you might have a bone with some of these. Virginia Tech, Colorado.
Colorado should be in.
I like them.
Washington State. I agree.
I think Washington State is like made a step forward, but right now they're not good enough.
And Virginia.
Really?
Yeah, Virginia first 4 out.
No way. And Clemson's a 5? Didn't Virginia beat Clemson?
I can't remember off the top of my head.
Where they got my Oklahoma boys, Chris?
They've got them as a 5 seed against Indiana State.
Dub.
No, they're in trouble in that game.
Yeah, dub.
Man, I would say at least if the matchups here held and played out like this, there are at least 4 or 5 12 or 13 seeds that would go through. Like St. Mary's over Dayton, maybe.
Still a lot of basketball to play.
Vermont over Illinois.
Some of these teams might get stronger during conference play.
True.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of basketball left to be played.
Yeah. I'm saying it's just fun to look at the bracketology. I'm ready for March Madness already.
Yeah, me too. Sure.
Always interesting.
Yes, sir.
Oh, speaking of interesting, we got NBA. I've been bookmarking these shows, man. Putting in those bookmarks. Mitch never puts those bookmarks. Never does it. You gotta start adding those bookmarks, man.
That's one of the funniest things. Mitch's comment voice is hilarious.
God, put those bookmarks in.
Busted up my parlay.
Busted. Lakers sold on me, man. I don't even know half the shit people are saying in there. Anyways, we got the Knicks and the Wizards. Oh, man. The Knicks getting it done last night. The Wizards, 7-32, man. So now we're starting to get to that point in the season where these games are going to start affecting the draft lottery. Like the Spurs play like the Hornets tomorrow. It's like no one wants it, you know. It's like you could really, really mess up your drafting position. Chris, what do you think?
Give me the Knicks here. The MO for the Knicks this season has been the same. The script plays out the same. Their best games, their blowout games, their best offensive performances just come against the teams that just do not play defense. And we've seen it twice against the Wizards this season. Beat Washington in Washington by 21 and 16 in the two meetings so far this year. I think this is another double-digit comfortable win for New York. So give me the Knicks.
I don't love this game. I could really make an argument going both ways. The thing here is I'm with Chris. I lean towards the Knicks, but I'm probably gonna leave it alone. It's super public. Everybody's gonna be on the Knicks today. Nobody wants anything to do with the Wizards off the loss at home to the Pistons. The thing is, though, is like the Wizards, for as bad as their record is, they're not terrible against the number 18, 20, and 1. Damn near 50-50. Are the New York Knicks necessarily a late double digits type of team on a back end of a back to back? In my opinion, no. Have they kind of been playing decent basketball here recently? Yes. I lean towards the Knicks. This should be a spot where they beat up on the Wizards based off what we've seen last game. But would I be surprised if the Wizards snuck in the back door? I wouldn't. But it's Knicks here for me.
I'm gonna take the Knicks. I just like the way they're playing. I'm not betting this thing. No, it's not my type of game. There's a lot of other games both in pro and college that I just like a lot better than this. But I would take the Knicks for all the reasons these guys said. I just think they're just the better team. It's like I could see the Wizards coming in here and covering, but I could see 20 ways I see the Knicks just blowing the Wizards off the court, and that to me is the only thing about it. But I don't like. It doesn't like handicap out that it's like, oh man, the Knicks are really something I got to be betting right here at laying 12 points. I mean, it doesn't even make sense. Well, I don't have a gambling problem, but people could accuse me.
Is this laying the run line with the Mets?
Let's just say my auto dial says differently.
Is this laying the run line with the Showalters?
Oh, it's up there. It's up there. It's a lot of points, man. It is a ton. The thing is, the Wizards are 12-8-2 against the number on the road. They're not bad.
Yeah, I know.
Take the charges. Got the Raptors up against the Bulls in this one. Can the Raptors go back-to-back and rise to the occasion 2 nights in a row after last night's dismantling of the Heat? Jay?
Well, have you heard the song by Toronto's very own artist, Drake, called Back to Back? I'm taking the Toronto Raptors to go back to back. I think they went out right tonight. I really do. I told you guys, I like what I'm seeing from Toronto. Even on the road trip, they were losing, but they were playing decently. I think last night was more a sign of what's to come moving forward than just an anomaly. They're not going to be terrible. The Raptors have never been terrible. They've always been decent to middle of the pack. That's what the Raptors are. And expecting the Chicago Bulls to win this game is, I think, kind of crazy. So they're going to give me the points in a 50-50 game. Both teams are 50-50 against the number. Their records are similar. If they're going to give me points in my back pocket with the home team, the team that I believe has the more momentum, sign me up. I'm taking Toronto in Toronto.
I'm taking the Bulls. I just think that all of the whole thing of trying to prove it after Siakam got traded and all that stuff, it all falls apart. And I think that, as the Raptors prepare for their move to Seattle, I just think that, I like the.
I'm signing the petition lately here, Mitch. I might be on the keep the Raptors in Toronto train.
I don't know about that. It rains a lot in Seattle, but it's not nearly as cold. You got to be crazy to live in Canada.
I don't know what to tell you. He's not wrong. No, I'm taking the Bulls here. I watched the first half of that game. The Raptors literally could not miss last night. And I don't expect that kind of hot shooting to continue back-to-back nights. It was sort of the other thing where they weren't going to shoot 4 of 32 from three-point range again like they did the game prior. I just think if the Raptors were supposed to win back-to-back games, then why are the Bulls laying 2.5 on the road?
Whoa!
The line looks weird. If that I'm saying if the Raptors were supposed to
back-to-back, they traded away their best player yesterday.
But it didn't seem to matter last night. That's what I'm getting.
But what I'm getting at is people don't watch the Raptors. This is what I'm getting at. It's like sometimes you just gotta be like, I gotta trust what my eyes are telling me. And I have come in here and told you guys the Raptors are hooping. And you gotta trust your eyes and not necessarily trust the number. And this is one of them situations. I pounded the table trying to tell you guys the Raptors was gonna hoop yesterday. They're hooping right now. I like the momentum, Chris. Jump on your team. Don't leave them alone.
You can trust all you want what you saw in game 41. I'm trusting what I saw in the other 40. And this is still I think that Toronto is public doggy today, like 100%. I think a lot of people saw what the Raptors did last night. They're probably going to jump on them here against the Chicago Bulls. And I just don't want to be on it. If I'm wrong, so be it. But I can't do it with the Raptors here. I'm taking the Bulls.
I'm the real Toronto fan on the show.
I'm the realistic Toronto fan on the show.
No.
Deal with this disappointment shit for
Fair.
It's like I said to you when we were talking off here yesterday. I want these draft picks to pan out more than anything.
Yeah.
It was a hell of a steal if Siakam's going to end up being a rental. But
I was thinking, I was looking at. I'll talk about it when we get to the Pacers. I'll talk about the other side of the trade. But for the Raptors, I mean, it looks like you guys are going to let Bruce Brown walk, or you're going to try to trade him and get something else for him. You know who y'all need to call?
Ghostbusters?
The Dallas Mavericks. There you go. That's who y'all need to call. Y'all need to call my team, send us Bruce Brown, and
then who you're sending back?
I don't know who we sending back. I don't know.
From Hardaway Jr.?
7 second-round picks.
Nah, I love you want to keep Tim. Y'all can't have Tim, not for Bruce.
No, it's he's one of those 4 second-round pick guys.
Yeah. We'll see.
Got the Thunder visiting the Jazz. The Thunder have hit a little bit of a bump in the road, and of course the Jazz canceled last night against the Warriors, so that an unexpected day off. Normally it would have been a back-to-back.
That Mavs Warriors is canceled tomorrow as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's crazy that it's like that, you know?
Yeah.
Anyways, I think that I'm gonna take the Thunder here to bounce back. The Jazz have been red hot at home. It's not gonna last forever. It never does. And this just looks like a likely spot for the Thunder to bounce back. this is probably a spot where we would have been laying. Am I looking at the right game? Yeah, I am. Yeah, this is a spot where we would be laying probably 6 with the Thunder if they had won their last 2 games. All Thunder for me.
Wayne, I could see that Hardy, it would hurt my heart.
Oh no, please God, no.
I need a guard. That's what y'all need. I need a guard.
Nicole's right. She's like, "Well, we'll take Dak." No, I don't want Dak. That's man. All right, sexy pick time. I'm taking the over 244.5. It's like asking me which one at home. Like him as a home dog, but I love the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm not picking between my 2 kids. I'm taking the over. I think both of them can put a pile on the points here. I think this game gets closer to 250.
I'm a realistic parent, even though I have no kids. I know most have favorites, It just is what it is. You ask your parents, they might lie to you and say, "No, we love you all the same." It's not the truth.
No, they don't. No,
it's
they
not. And for me, these are both my kids as well. I love both of these guys dearly. I love betting Utah in Utah. But to me, this one's simple. I think they created, because Utah has been hooping in Utah so much, it's created value on the other side. Need I remind you, I'm well aware the Utah Jazz are 80% against the number at home, and they're 12-4 ATS there. But the overall number 1 ATS team in basketball is still our favorite money-making team, and they are my favorite child, and I will not abandon them. I am taking the Oklahoma City Thunder buddies tonight. I'm going to lay it. I think this is just a classic bounce back for them. I think they're head and shoulders the better team. Shout out the Jazz. They're playing really well. But when you just kind of step back and look at it, the Thunder, in my opinion, are a top 5 team in the NBA right now. The Jazz, even though they've been hooping at home in the grand scheme of things, they don't even crack my top 10. They might not even be in my top 15. They might be right outside that, like 16, 17. I just think the number's short. We know the Thunder Buddies do hoop on the road as well. They have slid here recently against the number, but we do know they show up and hoop on the road. I think they show up and hoop tonight. I'm going to lay the short number here with the Thunder Buddies for life. Mitch, I forgot, you took the Thunder?
Of course.
Yep.
Chris copped out, as usual.
Yeah, Chris. I love the Jazz too, Chris, but come on, man.
Totals are us. Got the Timberwolves against the Grizzlies. 10 o'clock Eastern time start, man. These are getting late. Chris, it's you.
Oh, man. Let's see here. Sorry, it was on a different screen. Give me the Timberwolves here. Back-to-back doesn't bother me here. Minnesota Timberwolves, they play their best basketball at home by a fair margin. The best defensive home team in the NBA. Memphis, well, the thing about Memphis is that they've already lost both meetings to Minnesota this year by a combined 46 points, and that was in Memphis. And Minnesota, like I said, they're not playing their best basketball on the road. So I know Memphis has a winning record on the road, both straight up and against the spread, but I think Minnesota all day in this one win by 15 plus.
I'm on the Minnesota Timberwolves as well. I don't love it. Everybody knows I hate betting the house of disappointment. But this should be the smash spot at home. Like, this should be it. They really haven't smashed a lot of teams this year, but this should be the spot for them. Give me Minnesota here.
I really don't like this one at all. I really don't. But I'm going to take the Timberwolves. I know I'm going to lose money, to be honest with you, but I'm going to take the Grizzlies. I'm changing. It's one of those ones, another one that I like the other 3 games so much better than this one and the Knicks-Wizards. It's like there's no reason for me to be there, but it's like, I don't know. It's less of a play on Memphis than a play against Minnesota, laying all those points. So I'm going to take the Grizz. Who'd you take, Chris? Minnesota?
Yeah.
I'm just here to fade your ass, pretty much. Got a nice crowd in the YouTube comments today. Just really appreciate them. We got the Sacktown Kings 7.5 point favorites over the Halliburtons. This is Jay. This is kind of the wheelhouse for both these teams. What do you think?
I don't like this game as of right now because the injury report for the Indiana Pacers is all the way up in the air, like everybody's game time decision. And, they're going to be shorthanded due to the trade yesterday. So it's really not a great spot for the Pacers. Ned Smith, game time decision, Toppin, Halliburton, Mathurin, all game time decisions. So what am I supposed to do with that at this moment? Am I laying 7.5 with the Kings? No, sir, not me. Would I be surprised if they blew out the Pacers if all these guys sat? No. So there's 2 trains of thought. You could take the Pacers now at this current number and pray that the injury news breaks your way, or you could wait and see what happens with the injury news, and if it goes your way, the number is going to be shorter and hope the Pacers, hoop at that number. So I think either one is fine. Regardless, it's Pacers for me here in this game.
I have like a simple strategy that I've been using, and that is when the Kings are favored at home, you just take the other team and you stick to it. I don't care who's playing for the Pacers. To be honest, they could be playing the Hornets, the Spurs, or the Blazers, or a combo of those 3 teams. I would still take them over the Kings laying points at home, especially a touchdown and change. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Pacers as well. A lot of what these guys said. I'm going to probably wait to see if I can get more injury news as well later throughout the day. But
so the picks that they traded for Siakam are panning out to be about the 19th pick and the 27th pick. Right? Is that what? So Brown, the 19th pick, the 27th pick, and a conditional 2026 pick. What's the condition?
I think it's based on where they finish.
Based on where they finish. All right.
Let me see if I can find.
All right. While you're working on that, you just keep your eyes on the prize there. We move over to college hoops. Got a reasonable card here. Vermont against Binghamton. 6:07 p.m. Eastern Time start. Who comes up with this one? That's like a baseball start time.
Yeah.
Michigan State against Minnesota. Give me Liberty or give me FIU. Romanelli did not like our nicknames yesterday. He was not happy with that.
Yeah,
he gave the dirty look. Drexel versus Monmouth. Memphis versus South Florida. FAU versus Wichita State. Albany versus UMass. Lowell. Old Dominion versus Marshall. Georgia Southern versus Coastal. NJIT versus UNH. UMBC versus Maine, Northern Kentucky versus Milwaukee, Wright State versus Green Bay, Jacksonville versus Queens College. It's tough little early card here. North Florida versus Kennesaw State, Winthrop versus Cashville, Charleston versus Towson, Delaware versus Stony Brook, Elon versus Wilmington, North Carolina A&T versus Northwestern, Hofstra versus Hampton, William and Mary versus Campbell. A lot of meat on the bone there, Chris. What do you think? This is where writing all those articles comes in handy, huh?
Yeah, this is a Thursday card in January. This is where we find these guys. Give me Green Bay plus the points against Wright State.
They beat them already this season, right?
Green Bay, I don't know where Green Bay came from this year. They won 3 games last year.
They went into Dallas last week and busted up the Cowboys, too.
Yeah. Hey, that's still too soon. Too soon. Jay's wounds are still. Jay's wounds going to be fresh until opening week next year.
It's like, who knew Jordan Love had that kind of ability?
Oh man. But yeah.
Hey, my guys were no better.
I don't know where this Green Bay team came from this year, but they're playing really well. I think 8 points is too many. Wright State, they're a solid team in the horizon, but have some defensive issues. They tend to let teams hang around. I think they do the same here against Green Bay. So give me the Phoenix and the points. I'm going to take Liberty against FIU. I think that's just a desperate Liberty team needs a win, and they played their best basketball at home. FIU 1-5 against the number on the road. I think Liberty bombs away and gets the job done there. And I'm going to take Memphis laying the big number against South Florida. I just don't trust South Florida to keep themselves in this one offensively. Memphis 1-7 against the spread at home, but they opened some eyes against Wichita, and I think they get another win and cover here. So
it's weird because South Florida called me and Jay and said they don't trust you.
Yeah, well, it's bull.
It's like you don't trust them, they don't trust you.
Bull.
Jay, you see anything exciting in this time slot?
Not a whole lot. I'm gonna lean towards MSU, Michigan State at the crib. I think that number's high for a reason. I still got that feeling when they blew out Baylor at the crib. Like they're just a different team in East Lansing. We're gonna lean towards Michigan State, and then I'm gonna lean towards UNC Cashville on the road versus Winthrop. I just like saying UNC Cashville. It's gonna be a tight game. I think they have a legitimate shot to win it outright, but I lean in their direction here in this slot. Those two. And then give me Wright State just because I just want to fade all of Green Bay. I hate everything Green Bay. So no, nothing to do with the basketball team. It's just a pure haterism of the name.
Good Lord.
Let's go Niners.
I like UMass against Albany. You have 2 of the best 3-point defenses in the nation facing off in that one. But I think UMass is better. I like Old Dominion against Marshall. All these could have been premium picks, to be honest with you as well. UMass, Old Dominion was on my list, and so was Green Bay. They beat Wright State already. So maybe it's the revenge factor. I'm not really sure why it's there. But all 3 of those could have been premium picks for me. And Milwaukee as well against Northern Kentucky. This is just not the same Northern Kentucky team we've seen in recent years. NBA is rigged. NFL is rigged. D's got too much time on their hands. Youst Fali. Yeah, me too. They were so shit. It was embarrassing. I love the out of context comment. Those are my favorites. That's not what I was saying.
Talking about the Grizzlies and Cavs game. Yes, or not the Grizzlies, sorry, Bucks and Cavs game yesterday. The Cavs ran the Bucks out of the gym.
What about the Heat laying an egg last night? We haven't got to the eggs yet.
Yeah.
Stephen F. versus Seattle. Moorhead versus Tennessee Martin. JMU versus Louisiana Monroe. South Dakota, the Coyotes versus St. Thomas. North Dakota versus Oral Roberts. South Dakota State, Jackrabbits up against Nebraska Omaha. North Dakota State versus Denver. Lipscomb versus Central Arkansas. Austin Peay versus North Alabama. Texas Arlington versus Texas Rio Grande Valley. That's one that you write the article and it just doesn't even fit in the space. Just gets cut off.
Yeah.
Northern Colorado versus Sac State. Northern Arizona versus Portland State. We got a beautiful card tonight. South Alabama versus Troy State. And Tarleton State versus Abilene. Jay, we got the best of the Atlantic Sun, the Big Sky, and the Sun Belt coming right at you here.
Hey,
staring at you.
Don't you dare leave the whack out of this.
Yeah, we got the whack, the Summit. These are these are the one bid conferences right here, man.
Jackrabbits for me in this slot, South Dakota State. I'm going to blow the doors off of Omaha. I'm still mad at the city of Omaha for how they were laughing at me in Vegas when Terrence Crawford beat up on Spence. But, so give me South Dakota State now.
I was wondering where that was going. I did not know about that.
Oh yeah, so Chris, oh my God, they were so nauseating. So I didn't even know this. So but like everybody in the city of like Omaha, like they just feel like shitted on, basically. Like nobody believes that like they can do anything because like who thinks of Omaha, Nebraska? You know what I mean? Like when we think Nebraska, you think of like the Cornhuskers.
Yeah. Okay.
So they carry that on their shoulders. So like, they just would not shut up about Terrence Crawford. They just would not shut up. They would not shut up. Give me Tarleton. Come on now, y'all knew that. Gonna beat up on Abilene Christian. This is a nice little slot. I could really rip off a couple, but I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill right there.
I haven't bet on Moorhead in a couple weeks, or in about a week, so I'm going to go back to Moorhead State in this one against Tennessee Martin. I think, you can't bet on Moorhead every single time, but you sure as hell can bet on them in this one. I also like Oral Roberts against North Dakota a lot. What?
Nothing.
What are you looking at?
Nothing.
What's that smirk? What's that smirk?
Nothing. Just thinking about a parlay, that's all.
Something looked funny too.
Just thinking about a parlay, that's all.
Parlay. You got Michigan against Illinois, so Big Ten action there mixed in. Southern Utah versus the Eggs. Southern Indiana versus Arkansas Little Rock. I don't know why that bit still just killed.
I don't know.
Lindenwood versus SIU Edwardsville. Tennessee State versus Tennessee Tech. UTEP versus Middle Tennessee. New Mexico State versus Western Kentucky. Idaho State, Idaho. Weber State versus Eastern Washington. Grand Canyon versus Utah Valley. Utah versus Oregon State. Cal versus Washington. Cal State Northridge, UCSB. Fullerton versus Davis. Long Beach versus Hawaii. What up, beaches? Irvine versus San Diego, the Tritons. Bakersfield versus Riverside. Pacific versus Santa Clara. We're getting into the West Coast Conference here. Pepperdine versus Gonzaga. Portland, oh boy, versus San Diego. Colorado versus Oregon. Stanford versus Washington State, and San Francisco versus the Mount. I got to say, Portland gives me gas. I'm taking the Toreros in that one. I'll go San Diego in this one. Parlay them up. San Diego with the Chargers. It's like, man, it is. It is bad, man. Yeah, I mean, Portland stinks. I mean, they stink. I've laid this year against Portland 19.5 and 16.5. And, I mean, covered by a mile in those games. I don't care who they're playing in this one, to be honest.
They were playing St. Mary, and didn't they lose by like 50 or something like
that? Those are the two games. They were getting 18.5 against St. Mary's. They lost 95-52, and then they followed it up at San Francisco, getting 16.5, 96-69.
Well, they were at home in both those games.
No, they're on the road.
Were they? I thought they were at home.
No. I like Weber State against Eastern Washington only because they take them every single time. Yeah, I kind of like Michigan here against Illinois. I know it's crazy talk, but the line looks funny to me. And these Big Ten home and road games are just so messed up. I'm going to take Michigan there.
Michigan.
Can we schedule a non-conference game between Duke and Utah Tech to have deviled eggs?
Good.
And by the way, for the last time slot, I like Troy laying the 1.5. For this time slot, though, I'm going to take Gonzaga, lay the 12.5 against Pepperdine. Earlier this season, I was like, Gonzaga, they lost a step, or is this Gonzaga team not as talented or as imposing as past Gonzaga teams? And that was when they were playing Pepperdine and still won that game by 26. Changing venues doesn't change the pick for me here. I'm taking Gonzaga there. I'm also going to take Long Beach State.
What up, Beaches?
Against Hawaii. I just like the beach at home, so give me the beaches. Love the beaches.
You like a what at home, Chris?
Love the beaches.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm taking Long Beach State as well at the crib. And then y'all know, of course, man. We were talking about them earlier. Give me my Antelopes, bro. My Grand Canyon boys, man. I love them. I'm gonna blow the doors off of Utah Valley. Utah Valley just got beat up by Rio Grande Valley, and y'all. There's been plenty of times where I told y'all about Rio Grande this year. So they might be up. They might be up 12.5 at half in this thing.
The Vocados.
Give me my Antelopes, man.
By the way, that Pacers pick for 2026 is protected top 4.
Oh, wow. Top 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
anything after that is...
Yeah, I think they'll be in good shape.
Yeah, they won't be that bad.
And what happens if they're not top, like if they are top 4?
They're probably defers to another year.
All right.
A lot of hockey today. Ice skating. All my teams in action today, man. So I know what it is, man. Some money making ice day.
Dun 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 dun. Ice.
Man,
ice.
I'm telling you, I was finna cash yesterday on them Blackhawks. I just had a feeling that they gonna postpone the game, man. All good.
Well, we got the Sabres and the Blackhawks today, getting plus 230 on them. We got the Bruins against the Avalanche, Senators against the Canadiens, and the Flyers against the Star, Lightning against the Smudge, and Capitals against the Blues. Chris, it's you.
Jay's going to be happy I like the Stars today. The Flyers are playing well. Won 4 straight, but they're going back home where they're less effective this season. Dallas playing their best hockey on the road, and they've won 7 straight against the Flyers. So give me the Dallas Stars. And give me the Boston Bruins at home against the Avalanche. Um, I'm not a fan of Colorado's goaltending. The offense can only do so much. I don't think they're going to do a whole lot against one of the best goaltending duos in Swayman and Ullmark for Boston. So give me the Bruins at home. Reasonable price, -150.
I'm on my Stars as well, man. Of course, I just love riding my home team in hockey. They're good, so there's no reason not to. And they're playing well, like Chris said. We always beat up on the Flyers. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm going back to the plus money shop with the Blackhawks, man. I am. Sabres, same thing I said yesterday. They shouldn't be laying 275 on anybody. That's my story. I'm sticking to it, bro. Come on, Blackhawks. Let's get that done. And I also love fading the smudges. I love fading them boys. Coming off of the little home trip they were on, didn't really look all that great. I mean, they did win the last one, but Tampa, they've won 4 of their last 5. I think they make it 5 of their last 6. We already seen them beat Minnesota in Minnesota. They should dub these boys in Tampa. Give me Tampa.
Stars, Capitals, and Lightning for me. In this slot, all of them show up in the betting tools in a big way today. Major streaks on the line here in all of those games. The Smudges have lost 7 in a row as dogs. The Stars win as favorites against the Flyers 10 in a row. Yeah, I mean, this just seems like a lot of easy money here.
Like both of them, for real.
And and the Capitals 8 in a row as home favorites. A lot of good streaks going on there. Got the Flames versus the Maple Leafs. Oilers versus the Smoking Kraken. The Kings versus the worst name in sports, the Predators. Vancouver Canucks up against the Coyotes. And Vegas versus the Rangers. Chris, what do you think?
Give me the Flames against the Maple Leafs. They're playing well right now. They've won 4 straight, 7 of 9. The Leafs have lost 4 in a row. The goaltending's a mess. The coach is on the hot seat. And I just hope they lose this game so they get one step closer to firing him.
You just love fading your teams.
I like fading my teams when it's called upon.
Raptors, man. God damn, man. We finna ban you from the Toronto fanship.
I said before, I'll say it again. I'm a realistic Toronto fan. I'm not a fanboy. I'm a realistic Toronto fan. I know what to expect from these teams. And the Leafs right now are playing like the overpaid bums that a lot of people can call them out to be. I mean, they're not performing. They've lost 4 in a row. When you have a team as talented as the Maple Leafs are, for as much upside they have offensively on any given night, the goaltending's been crap. The coach is a major problem. That's just, like I said, I'm just hoping that they lose so they take another step towards firing him. Jay, do it for me.
Turn me up.
I'm taking him on the puck. I'm taking him plus 1.5.
Okay.
I think it's a 1-goal game. I might sprinkle a little bit on Arizona money line, but these games are always close, and all 3 meetings last year were 1-goal games. So give me Arizona plus 1.5, and a little bit on the money line.
Word for word, bar for bar. I was gonna say those exact same words. I like the money line, but I think at this price, I'll take the puck line. I don't take puck line very often in hockey, y'all know me, but I think I like it in that spot. And I'm gonna take the shot on the Kraken too, bro. Why not? Edmonton, I know Rod in the comments, he gonna tell me them boys rolling. Finally. It's about time. But hey, The thing is do I want to give back a lot of the profits we made on the Kraken on that win streak now that they've lost 2 in a row? Is it time to chill? Or is this a spot to grab a great plus money price with a team that just hiccuped 2 games? I think it's a great spot to try to grab the plus money price, me personally. So I'm back on the Kraken today. I like the Kraken and the Coyotes in this slot.
Taking the worst name in sports, and I like them with the Rangers on the puck line. This one in Vegas. I'm gonna parlay those up with my other 3 and have a 5-teamer. Chris, how about you?
It's not often you get it twice in one show. I think everybody's got to appreciate that for what it is.
Well, that wasn't a full one. It was just a partial.
Yeah, okay. It was
just a quick reach around.
Oh man,
We didn't do any egg jokes, so gotta fill time somehow.
We kind of did.
Gotta fill time somehow.
Fair enough.
Did you give your picks already?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Parlay time.
Parlay.
Is that the new theme song of the Parlay thing?
Yeah.
Jay's just hoping for that to turn into a sound clip, and Mitch just has it on the soundboard whenever he says time for the parlay. Oh man, give me.
It's a reenactment of what Mitch told me one time, so I just stole it and just.
Yeah, it was an incident at the Four Queens in Vegas.
Oh, jeez.
Classy joint. Before the last time when I got thrown out by the guy in the polyester khakis.
Oh boy, you got thrown out by a guy in polyester.
Yep, at Four Queens.
Oh my god.
Didn't like the way I was throwing the dice. Threw me out.
Would you hawk him across the room or something?
I didn't hit the back rail because so it was July, so it was before I had my shoulder surgery. It's like my arms hurt so bad, and I was next to the stick, so I was trying to throw it there, and it's like I just couldn't really get an angle at the table to even throw the dice, and then so I had to throw with my left arm, which was like barely holding on by a thread, So you throw it like that, you're out of here. I was like, you know what? I'm out of here anyway, dumbass. Where's the cage?
Give me
like,
more money.
Like I didn't even know where the cage was. That's how many times I bet at Four Queens, Put it this way, I won't be back.
No.
They won't let me back, but that's I won't be back. No, they won't let me. They won't let you back. Exactly.
It's like, you're fired. You can't fire me. I quit.
By the way, today's my last day. What do you think about your parlay? I already gave out my 5-team hockey parlay, but I'll give out another one as well.
All right, my parlay today is going to be Troy, Memphis, and Moorhead State.
Jay?
Timberwolves, Michigan State, and Grand Canyon. Stomp down Central. All 3 downs.
Old Dominion, Green Bay, Milwaukee, and Old Dominion, Green Bay, and Milwaukee. I'll do those 3. Old Dominion, Green Bay, Milwaukee. I'll stick with those. All right. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Nailed it on an hour. Perfect here. Got about 10 seconds. Chris, anything you want to say?
Take the
Scoop up my NBA player of the day.
Get Jay's NBA play of the day. Get Chris's play of the day. You can get my college play of the day. Or I got NBA 3-pack. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm going to try and act more professional.